Amashwana sizwe sikaMthwakazi silamukela njalo kwesinye isiqephu sethu sezindaba ngomsakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio namhla kungolwesine zili-19 kuNhlolanja ngomnyaka ka-2026. Indaba lizethulelwa ngikhethiwe Chuma. Ngesikhangele kwethamba phambili namhlanje, abantu abasha kumele basukume ukuze bavikele ikusasa labo, kusho uChibaya. uMachakaire usasolwe kakhulu ngenkulumo yakhe ayethule mayelana le-National Youth Service. uMaplanka uthi ukujintshwa kwesisekelo sombuso kujonge ukuba kusuthise abantu kuphela abambalwa. Nanzi indaba zethu ngokugcweleyo. Umqoqi wezakhamizi umhlonitshwa u-Amos Chibaya usekhuthaze abantu abasha ukuba baziqoqe njalo balungisise ukukhangelisisa ikusasa labo ngokusola lokhu okwenzakalayo. Ekhuluma phambi kwelanga eliza kuba khona elabantu abasha, umhlonitshwa uChibaya uthi kuyaziwa lasendulo ukuba abantu abasha yibo abafuqa utshintsho. Umhlonitshwa uChibaya uthi intsha yanamhlanje ilomlando yokuba ikhulume ngokungathunganyelwa ngendlela eqondileyo kanye lenkohlakalo. Ake simzweni ekhuluma.
There must be good relationship between the government and the governed. In our situation, we have a discredited and a disputed government. So as the youth, we have got a duty to speak against the bad governance. Youth must not be silent when their future is being destroyed. Panofanira kuva neukama hwakanaka pakati pevanenge vachitungamirira nyika nevanotungamirirwa. Manje muno munyika yedu yeZimbabwe, nenyaya yekuti chihurumende chiripo hachisi chihurumende chasaridzwa nevanhu, chihurumende chiripo hachisi chihurumende chevanhu. Hapana ukama huripo pakati pevanhu vari munyika yeZimbabwe nechihurumende chiripo. Saka semayuthi mune basa guru rokuti iro kutungamirwa kuno kuchiitwa nyika nevanhu vasina kusaridziwa zviri pachena, munge muchitaura against zvinenge zvichiitwa zvisina kurama zvisingavaki nyika. Mayuthi hamugoni kuramba makanyarara kana nyika ichivhiringwa, kana nyika ichiparadzwa, imwe mayuthi muripo. Nokuti kana mukarega nyika ichiparadzwa, muri kuparadzura ramangwana renyu. Munofanira kutaura zvakashata zvese zvinenge zvichiitika kuti zvigadzirisiwe, nyika ifambe zvakanaka, nyika ive neutungamiri hwabva kuvanhu, nyika ive neutungamiri hunoremekedza kodzero dzevanhu.
Ibandla eliphikisayo selisole kakhulu ungqongqoshe wabasha kubandla leZANU-PF uThino Machakaire ngenkulumo yakhe lapho athe iziqeqeshi zaseyunivesithi azizi kuthola umsebenzi kuqala labo abaqeqeshe ku-National Youth Service bengakatholi kuhulumende. Omunye weziphathamandla kubandla eliphikisayo Stephen Sarkozy Chuma usole kakhulu inkulumo kaMachakaire lapho athe kutshengisa ukuba uhulumende webandla leZANU-PF akakuqakathekisi ukufunda kanti njalo lemfundo ekhona akayiqakathekisi. Ake sizweni ukaChuma ekhuluma.
Yes, we are very much shocked that the Minister of Youth, Thino Machakaire, is advocating for employment in government based on a certificate of National Youth Service. The National Youth Service, as you know, was previously known as the Border Gezi training. This is a group that is notorious for killing people during the 2008 presidential runoff. It is notorious for burning people's homes, for destroying properties. This is a militia group which always supports ZANU-PF. So it's quite shocking that this group can be said to be the ideal when it comes to the people that can be employed by government. It is more than shocking that Machakaire even suggests that graduates from universities cannot get employment in the government if they do not have that certificate, which clearly shows that the government of Emmerson Mnangagwa does not value education. The government of Emmerson Mnangagwa does not value skills. We know that graduates from university, tertiary education, are more equipped to deal with the rigors of issues that are found in the industry. You cannot take someone from a militia training school like Border Gezi school, the so-called National Service, to do business in the government to work in the government, because these people, they do not know anything except Pamberines and slogan. So obviously the fortunes of the country as far as the economics is concerned are going to take a downturn. So this is shocking coming from the minister. But we know that in ZANU-PF, even Machakaire is someone who does not value education, because if you check at his background, someone maybe probably a school dropout who was elected to be a minister based on patronage, not privilege.
Omunye weziphathamandla kubandla eliphikisayo esabelweni saseMatabeleland South, umhlonitshwa ubekezela Maplanka useveze ukutshintshwa kwesisekelo sombuso ngokwehlandla lesithathu njengendlela enceda abantu abambalwa engeke incedise izakhamizi makhaza. Uye wangezelela ngokuthi izinga lokudubeka kanye lokungaphucuki emaphandleni afana lebulilima kuveza khona ukuba ilizwe laseZimbabwe lidinga abathungameli abasha, hatshi ukungezelelwa isikhathi sombuso umuntu esehofisini ngoba esehluleka. Ake sizweni okaMaplanka ekhuluma.
Salibonani balaleli, salibonani sizwe sakithi seZimbabwe. Njengesizalwane seZimbabwe njalo imelele ibulilima, kulusizi njalo kuyadanisa ukuthi ubone iZANU-PF ifuna ukutshintsha isisekelo selizwe leZimbabwe, isisekelo sokuhlukuluza umphakathi, hatshi isisekelo sokukhulula umphakathi. Ungakhangela isigaba sakithi lapha emvela khona ebulilima, imigwaqo ifile, izibhedlela azilamithi, isizalwana zebulilima ziyazakhela izibhedlela okungumsebenzi kahulumende. Abalimi bathwele nzima, abantwana baphakathi kokudla izidakamizwa ngenxa yokuswela imisebenzi. Esikubonayo ukuthi ukutshintsha isisekelo seZimbabwe kuyikuhlukuluza amalungelo eZimbabwe, kuyikuhlukuluza amalungelo esizwe seZimbabwe. iZANU-PF kayikhangele ukuphakamisa isizwe seZimbabwe, kayikhangele ukukhulula isizwe seZimbabwe, hatshi ukuhlukuluza isizwe seZimbabwe ngokufuna ukutshintsha isisekelo seZimbabwe, njalo abafuna ukusitshintsha bengazange babuze ebantwini ukuthi abantu bayakuthakazelela loba hatshi.
Owayengungqongqoshe kubandla leZANU-PF uProfesa uJonathan Moyo usechasise ukuba ukudlulisela phambili ukhetho ukuze umuntu abuse okweminyaka eyisikhombisa kuyindlela yokuba ilizwe lithole ukuzinza. Kungxoxo ebekhona emakhasini okuxhumana, usifundiswa uMoyo uthi iminyaka eyisikhombisa esembusweni okuzenziwa libandla elibusayo kuza kubanika isikhathi sokuba balungise ezomkhonomi kuzinze, hatshi ukubheka ezepolitiki. Esinye sesiphathamandla kubandla eliphikisayo uSemgondongwe uthi uMoyo usekela ukutshintsha kwesisekelo sombuso njengendlela yokuba azincedise ukuze aphenduke ekhaya ngemva kokuhlala isikhathi eside ehlala ngaphandle kwelizwe. Ake sizweni uGondongwe ekhuluma.
Professor Jonathan Moyo is wrong somewhere in the upstairs. A learned person, stooping so low to bring himself down to that level is absurd. He cannot justify the plans to postpone election in order to have a 7-year term limit for a president. Yet he knows very well that our constitution stipulates that a president should rule for 5 years, and when re-elected another 5 years, and after that he should go and sit at his home wherever he wants to go. And Jonathan Moyo, because he's exiled, because he knows his world is being held by this the regime, he wants to portray as a saint so that he buys back his home, he buys back his freedom, he buys back his looting spree, because the moment that he agrees with ED and ZANU-PF, it means he has secured his freedom to come back here home and start looting as they used to do. And we are not going to allow that to happen. We cannot then condone corruption in Zimbabwe. We cannot condone the killings, the arrests, the detention of innocent people because someone wants to come back to Zimbabwe, someone wants to come and possess their land that they had before, that they acquired through corruption. There's no economic stability that is talking about. Instead, the stability that will be there is a stability that is the regime will loot while we look on. The stability will detain people while we watch, because they are going to be to select judges. To select judges that they are going to put there for them to be looking at our cases. So we will not allow that to happen in Zimbabwe. We are not allowed the amendment, the Constitution Amendment Bill to sail through. We are going to protect our Constitution by our words. We are going to protect the Constitution by our hearts. We are going to protect the Constitution by our minds. We are going to protect the Constitution by our bodies. We are going to protect the Constitution with whatever we have, with the soul and the spirit, because it is our book. It is our livelihood. It is the sanctity. It is the lifeblood of this nation. Minus the Constitution, this nation will be doomed. So we are not going to let ED and these people play with our lives. We are not going to allow it. We are going to sacrifice everything. We can even leave whatever we are doing just to sit and talk from morning to evening, talking about the changes that are going to happen. We are not going to allow that. We are going to stand as a nation. Everyone is welcome. Hakuna Zimbabwean anonzi uyaite. Every Zimbabwean should rise up. Those from ZANU-PF, those from the police force, those from the army, from the retired army generals, from the war veterans, from nurses, teachers, civil society, the school-going children, machembere edu, manasekuru vedu, everyone should stand up, because nyika yedu yakuda kushandiswa mutoilet sematishu takatarisa.
Ngokunye njalo okuvelayo, inhlanganiso eziphikisana lokutshintshwa kwesisekelo sombuso sebeza kukhuluma ngelizwi elifanayo. Inhlanganiso efana le-Defend the Constitution Platform kanye le-Constitution Defence Forum sezisezingeni eliphezulu zengxoxo ukuba bahlangane ukuze babe liqembu elilodwa ukuze bakhankase kuhle ukumiswa ukutshintshwa kwesisekelo sombuso ngokwehlandla lesithathu. Lokhu kuye kwavunywa ngomunye wabathungameli benhlanganiso ye-DCP, uPrince Dubeko Sibanda, othe bangamanyana kuza kubasiza ukuba baqhubekele phambili. Unozindaba uBlessed Mhlanga usecele umhlaba wonke jikelele ukuba bangathuli, kanti njalo uye wakhuthaza ukuba kumele bamanyane abantu ukuze kusizwe iziwakawaka zabantu baseZimbabwe abaphakathi kokuhlupheka. Umhlanga ongomunye walabo ababevalelwe ngaphansi kohulumende woncindezelo lukaMnangagwa uye wethula inkulumo yakhe izolo emhlanganweni we-United Nations Geneva Summit for Human Rights and Diplomacy kwele-Switzerland. Ngesikhathi esethula inkulumo yakhe, uye wakhuluma ngokuvalelwa kwakhe lapho ahlala khona insuku ezingama-73. Wabuye njalo wakhuluma ngokutshintshwa kwesisekelo sombuso ngokwehlandla lesithathu. Lokhu athe kuza kuphambanisa izizalwane zaseZimbabwe lamazwe angaphandle, njengoba izizalwane zaseZimbabwe ziza kubaleka elizweni laseZimbabwe njalo. Ake silalele enye ingxenye yenkulumo yakhe.
After 73 days, I was released on bail on May 7, 2025. But without immense international pressure and solidarity, my story could have been different. In the UK, Lord Oates brought my story before the House of Commons to debate it and to raise international attention. I deeply am indebted to that. Diplomats from Europe and America requested to visit me in prison. Fellow Zimbabweans spoke loudly about my incarceration. And just days before the diplomats could visit me in prison, I was released. I'm ever grateful. And I want to encourage you all to stand in solidarity with human rights defenders, because it is the fuel of the work that we do. Even though I was released and I am standing here before you, I am not free. I have freedom without freedom. Every week, I've had to report to the police so that they know I have not escaped. My passport had been held and was only released on 21 January after my employer offered collateral of worth 200,000 United States dollars. If I don't return to Zimbabwe, the headquarters of Alpha Media Holdings, my employer, one of the last standing homes of unmolested truth and free speech, will be auctioned off by the state. So I have to go back to save that home. I have not been able to travel or earn my keep through journalism. The trial has drained me and my family financially. I've been struggling to pay my children's school fees, and now my eldest daughter, Lorraine, who is supposed to be university with his friends, is at home instead because we can't afford it. This is how the state is working. They hit your pockets. They punish everyone you love, and they torment you emotionally and physically. For a year now, they've kept delaying my trial for ridiculous reasons. 1 week, the magistrate is sick. The next, the witnesses are unavailable. And the other week, the docket is missing. My file has even been classified as a security file. Imagine, journalism is treated as a security threat in Zimbabwe. So here's the angle. When journalists don't tell the story in Zimbabwe, it's not because of incompetence. It's self-preservation, self-censorship to save themselves and their loved ones from the pains and horrors some of us have gone through. Zimbabwe is not a democracy. It's a sophisticated authoritarianism playing out as a democracy because they have learned to use the law as a weapon. They silence opponents and terrorize citizens, not through overt violence, but through a criminal justice system that many believe is compromised. Just last week, the government proposed new changes to the constitution, the major one being to increase the presidential term from 5 years to 7 years, and to allow a president to solely appoint judges directly. Those changes consolidate power into one person, killing judicial independence and further intensifying lawfare. For a president who promised to stick to the constitution and respect human rights, these attempts open a very, very dark door, which once opened, there is no turning back. This must scare the world and the United Nations into action. Because, dear friends, when repression hides behind law and sovereignty, the poor suffer and flee from their homes. They flee from their countries as refugees, creating international crisis. They come into your homes as illegal immigrants. And we all know what's happening around the world over the issue of illegal immigrants. The problem is not caused by those who flee their homes. It is caused by you who are silent when people are repressed in their home countries, so that they cannot speak from their own home countries, but have to flee to find safety in your homes, which you then in turn chase them away. So for that not to happen, silence is not an option. Diplomatic pressure is the option. Sanctions do not work because regimes have used the sanctions to further justify oppression of the poor. It is only when we stand up and exert diplomatic pressure on these regimes that we can have results. So, here's the thing. The world can pretend that Zimbabwe is democratizing, but that is a lie. If we don't speak, the West is coming. I thank you.
Omunye olwela amalungelo abantu kanti njalo isiphathamandla kubandla eliphikisayo uGodfrey Karembera lo owaziwa ngokuthi ngumatsibaba beshanduko ulokhu ebhadla ejele ngemva kokuba encishwe isibambiso kwamahlandla amaningi ashiyeneyo enkantolo. Umatsibaba beshanduko waboshwa kumnyaka ophelileyo ngemva kokuba ehaze amaphepha ayesola udaba luka-2030. I-Solidarity Zimbabwe Movement ZSM isiphathamandla sabo uLeon Kanenga useveze ukuba akulunganga lokho okwenziwayo ngokuvalelwa kukaKarembera njalo uthi asikho isizathu sokuba aqhubeke lokhe evalelwe. Ake sizweni uKanenga ekhuluma.
So the continuous detention and abuse of the criminal justice system to deter and repress Comrade Godfrey Karembera is very condemned in the strictest of terms, because number one, it is a subversion of his constitutional rights, especially the rights enshrined in Section 59 of the Constitution on the freedom of assembly, and the right of Section 57 on the right to protest and petition government. So in that light, we think it's within a broader machination by the regime to curtail as well as to close the democratic space. And that is something that we must fight. Right now we're also battling with the kidnap of a CDF member, Constitutional Defense Forum member. Baladu was kidnapped in his home in Glenora, at his home in Glenora. That itself also should be condemned, because that's use of terror against citizens who are fighting against the entrenchment of a personality dictatorship in Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe must come together to organize resistance against this.
Usane oluleminyaka emibili u-Asanda Ndlovu lo owathunjwa eMichael's Mall ngolwesibili usetholakale ephila namhlanje ekuseni kwelinye ibhilidi edolobheni. Uye watholwa elowesifazane ocatshangelwa ukuba nguye owayemthumbile. Lokho sokulethe ukuhlaliseka edolobheni ngemva kokuba abantu bebekhathazekile. U-Asanda uye wancedwa ngamapholisa ngemva kokuba bethole udletshana lokuba ukhona umuntu obambe umntwana ovele emphakathini. Amapholisa athi lo owesifazana usemapholiseni kanti njalo uphenyo luyaqhubeka. Indodana kalo wayengumongameli waseZimbabwe uRobert Mugabe uBellarmine Chatunga Mugabe uboshiwe eGoli ngemva kokuba kube lokudubulana emzini wakhe. uChatunga uBellarmine oyindodana encinyane emadodaneni kaRobert Mugabe uboshwe eHyde Park eGoli ngemva kokusolelwa ukuba udubule walimaza unogada emaholeni asekuseni namhlanje. Intatheli zindaba yethu isinikezele imininingwana.
Luhu from the SAPS briefing the media.
But the circumstances of the shooting at this moment, they are still a bit sketchy. And as you can see, we do have our police units that are here that are doing their preliminary investigations. We also have our dog unit that is currently searching in the house, searching for the firearm that has alleged to have been used to shoot the particular employee. So at the moment, we will be taking into custody 2 people. They are aged 33 and 24. They will be taken in for questioning so that we can determine actually as to what happened during when this shooting occurred and what actually led to the shooting.
Sorry, are you unable to find the firearm? Is that what you're saying?
At the moment, we don't have the firearm, but our dog unit, like I indicated, we do have our dog unit inside. They are searching through, but we did manage to find a cartridge, and that cartridge will be taken in to form part of the investigation.
Colonel Demakatso, Crisaldo Lewis from SABC Television News. I do understand that members of the police had to negotiate with 2 of the suspects that you plan to take into custody now for them to come outside. We had arrived a bit earlier and they did not want to come outside. Can you confirm that for us? What is currently taking place inside? Are you inside still negotiating, or is that part of looking for the firearm which is alleged to have been used in this incident? Also, do we know what the condition of the victim is?
Yes, I can confirm that. Like I indicated earlier on, that our police members, they were stopped by the security to indicate that there's a shooting in this house. And as you can see, it's a high-walled fence residence. Indeed, they had to knock and so that they can be opened, and then eventually they gained entry. And currently what is happening now is already indicated. We do have our dog unit inside, and also some of our units that are inside searching for the firearm. And like I also indicated, that the 2 men that are staying in this house, they will be taken in relation to this attempted murder case. The victim has been taken to the hospital currently. It was indicated that he's in a critical condition, but we are hoping that he will be fine.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
At the moment, we don't know how many shots were fired, so that will form part of our investigation. Like I indicated, we are still searching for the firearm that was allegedly used, but we did find a cartridge inside the yard, so it will also be taken.
Why are 2 people being taken in?
There were 2 people inside the house that were allegedly there when the incident happened.
From your preliminary investigations, Colonel, we understand that there was an altercation before the shots had gone off. Are you investigating that as well, as you continue, of course, with your probe?
Yes, that's the reports that we received, and those will form part of our investigation. As it was indicated that the gardeners indicated that the victim is alleged to be a gardener in this particular yard. It was alleged that he didn't come to work and there was some sort of a squabble. So that will form part of the investigation, obviously. Those are the information that we'll have to follow up as to unravel as to what happened actually and what led to this actual shooting.
Are the 2 suspects cooperating with police?
They are cooperating. At the moment, I can confirm that they are cooperating. They are there inside with the police officials.
Kubhubhe abantu abane engozini yebhasi le ebithwele abantu abangama-31 ebisuka eGoli lubhekise kwele Zimbabwe ngemva kokuba iwili eduze laseLewis Trichardt kwele Limpopo eSouth Africa izolo kusihlwa. Ingozi le yenzakale endaweni lapho kwenzakala khona ingozi kwabhubha abantu abangama-43 umnyaka ophelileyo engozini yebhasi. Imbangela yalengozi kayikaziwa kanti njalo kusaphenyisiswa. Ake sithole imininingwana eminingi kuvela kuntatheli izindaba zethu.
Thank you so much, MEC. Thank you so much for your time. Can you please just tell us what happened here?
Thank you so much. Let me start by greeting all the viewers at home and to say to the people of Limpopo, I'm aware the accident has happened in the early hours of the morning. That's what I've heard and I was told. So I'm at the scene now where the bus that was carrying 31 passengers from Gauteng had an accident at the same spot where the last accident happened last year in October. So now we have got only 4 that are confirmed to have passed on, and the rest have been taken to the nearest hospitals that are here in Vembe.
A concern here, I mean, a lot of accidents have been happening here. I grew up here and I've witnessed a lot of accidents happening here. This should be a concern too.
Yes, it is a concern because we are losing people at the same spot. Like we said last year to the minister to say we must do something here at this corner because we can't allow the same thing to happen every now and every day because people loses their life while on the way at the same spot. So our concern is whether we can say they must slow down or not. We don't know what happened because once the driver loses control, it means the person was speeding or or there was a mechanical fault with the bus. We don't know, but this the concern that I'm having always to say during the early hours or late hours, there are accidents that are happening, especially on this N1 road here next to Ingwe Lodge. Yes. So that's my concern also.
And those who have been taken to hospital, do you have any sense or any knowledge or information of what is really going on now? How are they faring?
For now, I've not yet to any of these hospitals because I've just arrived now. Then I will be briefing the community or the public in the afternoon after I went through all these 4 hospitals.
Ugatsha lwe-National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, isimemezele ukuba undunankulu wezokushushisa uTendai Shonai uza kuqhubeka engomunye walabo abashushisayo icala lokudlwengula lika-Walter Magaya. Umthungameli wase-PhD ubefuna uShonai ukuba akhishwe ekushushisweni kwaleli cala njengoba engomunye wabakhonzi benkonzo ye-UFIC eyinkonzo ethunganyelwa ngu-Emmanuel Makandiwa. Magaya wetheswa amacala amaningi okudlwengula. Udubo lwensikizi soluqalile njalo edolobheni laseHarare. Idolobho laseHarare selivumile ukuba selithole insolo eziningi ezivela kuzakhamizi. Umqondisi wezempilakahle edolobheni laseHarare, uDokotela uProsper Chonzi, uthi baluthatha ngendlela ephezulu lolu daba, kanti njalo ithimba labezempilakahle selikhethiwe ukuba liyekhangelisisa umumo njalo kwenziwe imhloliso enganceda ukuze kuchelwe kusasemasinya. Idolobho laseHarare liyela kunanzelela ukuba indaba le yensikizi yethulwa kakhulu izimpahla lezi esezike zagqokwa ezaziwa ngokuthi ngamabhelo. Ngesikhangele kwezemidlalo, iqembu labomama elenguqu i-The Mighty Warriors izolo banqobele eSwatini 2-0 emidlalweni ye-COSAFA Women's Champion Tournament le eqhubekayo kwelepulukwane eSouth Africa. Kumdlalo edlalwe izolo, iqembu lase-South Africa linqobe iMalawi 2-0, kwathi i-Angola yanqoba iLesotho 3-1. Kumidlalo ye-UEFA Champions League edlalwe izolo kusihlwa, iNewcastle yakarabha iCarabao 6-1 emidlalweni abangawudlalelanga ekhaya kuhlandla lokuqala elimidlalweni ye-round of 16. Iqembu lePorto Glimt liye lanqoba i-Inter Milan 3-1, kwathi iClub Brugge yona yaba ngujikelo bhanqa le-Atletico Madrid 3-3. Iqembu lamaGreki Olympiacos lona linqotshwe 2-0 emidlalweni abawudlalelwe ekhaya bedlala leBayer Leverkusen. Emidlalweni ye-English Premier League, i-Arsenal libe ngujikelo bhanqa le-Wolves 2-2. Ukuziphetha lezi ndaba kumsakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio, nanze besihamba phambili. Abantu abasha kumele basukume bavikele ikusasa labo, kusho Chibaya. uMachakaire usesolwe kakhulu ngenkulumo yakhe ye-National Youth Service. uMaplanka uthi ukutshintshwa kwesisekelo sombuso ngokwehlandla lesithathu akuphathisi muntu kodwa kuncedisa labo abambalwa. Siziphetha lapha lezi ndaba.